then we have the purple game mat. And some of you have already seen this in some pictures, but here it is in real life. And again, this is the rubber-backed game mat. This is in the Mendicant Order expansion. And it is included there because this is, well, it's going to feature 16 religious orders. We can't feature all of them, unfortunately, just because there's so many of them. But you could argue that these 16 are at least a good start. We found with our kids that we were referring to, Jesuits and Franciscans and Dominicans, and they didn't quite know what those were. There's a lot of different terms that are flying around here in the Williams household. And so we wanted to formalize that by teaching them about the religious orders. We start off in history, right? We have the Benedictines, which was founded in 529. We make our way to the Camaldolese, the Carthusians, the Cistercians, the Carmelites. Of course, this is where all of the Mendicant orders begin. So we have the Trinitarians, or Franciscans, or Mercedarians, or Servites. And then even to within the last 200 or 300 years, we've got our Passionists, or Redemptorists, and our Salesians, right? For me, as a convert, we've been in the church now 10 years. This is an area that I did not know a whole lot about until we started to put this together, which is kind of the whole reason why we made saint cards in the first place. And so this is an opportunity for us to get to know the saints that were from these orders. And there are some amazing men and women that we should get to know that may not necessarily be the high profile saint that we may think of or celebrate on those big feast days, but nevertheless lived lives of purity and holiness. And so we wanted to get to know them, and we are now able to help you get to know them too, which is super exciting. So all that to say, with the purple game mat will come 53 cards from the Mendicant orders. And so we have our Dominicans, our Carmelites, our Franciscans, and a lot of, I didn't know this, like St. Didacus of Alcala, as an example, is the saint that the city of San Diego is named after. His name is Diego, or Didacus. Had no clue who St. Didacus of Alcala was, but for those of you from the city of San Diego, you have a new saint card, right? So a lot of really cool saints that I've enjoyed getting to know, that I'm really excited for you to get to know. Our kids are really enjoying getting to know them. So those are 53 cards, and then you're going to get a gob of treasure as well to go along with that set, and a brown bag and a rule set. So this is St. Hyacinth of Poland. We've got St. Nicholas of Tolentino, St. Felix of Blois, all sorts of amazing men and women who were in the Mendicant orders. Okay, so this is a quick video within the video to talk about the new purple game mat. So what you do is you basically take the purple diamond side of the blue game mat and add the purple game mat to it, and it basically adds to your play area here. And each of these orders adds a whole new dynamic to the game. So if you look at your hand right here, like I've got some Camaldolese, I've got Redemptorists, I've got a Carthusian, St. Hugh, and so every time I play, I can decide if I want to play on the draw pile as normal here, or on the play deck, sorry, and then, or I can play on the purple game mat. And in this case, since it's a Carthusian, I would play it here. And the Carthusians have a special mechanic where you can, once you play one, you draw a card, and then whatever the difference in the centuries are, however many treasures you gain, and then you take an additional treasure and place it on the Benedictine spot. So the Camaldolese, the Carthusians, the Cistercians are all reforms of the Benedictine order. So whenever these are played, we add more treasure to the Benedictine space. So if somebody plays the Benedictine anywhere on the game mat or on the draw pile, they'll get all these treasures. So every single order has its own little character or charism to help reinforce what these orders do in the life of the church. Carmelites, if we play a Carmelite, you get 5, then 8, then 12, then 17, then 23, then 30. So the more Carmelites that you cloister here, the more treasure you get. And so that helps to reinforce the cloister life of the Carmelites. Or like a Jesuit saint, if you place a Jesuit here, if you have a pope in your hand, you get 3 extra treasures for every pope you have. And then it allows you to actually go into the deck and find another pope, because the Jesuits have certainly, in their origination in the 16th century, were the right-hand men of the Holy Father. Or a Trinitarian will give you 3 different options, because Trinitarian is 3, and so on and so forth. So every single order card that you play has its own function and it adds a whole new level of strategy to the game. But the biggest thing is it helps to reinforce what these orders do in the life of the church. And we found with the kids, whenever they're playing, they become all the more familiar with the symbols and what those symbols are associated with. I can point to this symbol on a card now, and the kids are picking up, okay, that's Augustinian, this is Passionist, so on and so forth. But then along with that, the game mechanic helps to reinforce what these orders do in the life of the church. Now, back to the original video.